Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I was just sitting here like, do I want to record? I didn't record yesterday. I found one thing pretty interesting yesterday. It's called Mammoth Steppe. During the last glacial maximum this formed. So let's go through some pictures. Maybe real quick, let's start at Damodorkin. Let's just go through these real quick. I'll link all these videos. So I think I mostly was just trying to capture this hill over here, this one, this spot. You can see lots of little pressure points where the current flows went in and hit the resistance of the wall as it bent around the structure and ramped up it. I know. Okay. There's the ramp again. That's pretty interesting over there. That's the northwest of the ramp is this structure where it was eroded because it went around the bend and went in over there, but also went around this way and up that way, around, and then it got deflected before these lakes, like probably by this mound region before that, around that, and up, across. I know. Okay. Not sure what this was. I took a picture of it. Another angle. Here we can see a little ramp up here, which made me think of some kind of cross current at that level that material was running into, and resistance was there enough to build a mound here, which then led currents to go around it, which then reduced the flow rates here and allowed for deposition, basically encouraged the process along. And so now there's this mound there, which then led to the water specifically going around it here to here, and then maybe around it down across somewhere else or something to make it so there were more interactions here. Okay, that's that one. Okay. Another one real quick. There's the hill. Anytime they got a picture of it, then I'm just taking screenshots. There's the bowl portion where the current went up in a jet stream and shot out, and this is the portion that it went up this side and drilled into both here and the opposite wall in a jet stream that essentially applied pressure here so the rest of the current could bend around this structure. I don't want to forget what I was just looking at, so let's get to this. It's called Mammoth Steppe, last glacial period, last glacial maximum this place existed. Notice it's from just above Spain to over there somewhere, and just generally goes across here. Looks like it goes to generally here as well as over here. There's more pictures where it goes down here, it goes around here. Another picture I have that does not show it quite the same, but from a video called "Why Were No Ice Sheets in East Siberia and Beringia During the Last Ice Age?" The Ice Age. So now it gets really interesting because now we got that going across that way. And now we've got, here's the Himalayas and this polar desert going to them across this way. Like, probably across this way. Maybe from North America even, looks like. Then this turned to tundra here. So this is from Wikipedia, Nogoes, Bravo. Mammoth steps. Okay. So that place is generally like here. Cross this way to generally here. I've been talking about the concept of a current going across this way over through here this way. A current coming generally past here, I think in this way maybe, that goes past here to the Himalayas, forming the Himalayas, particularly more so this side of the currents I've been talking about. But we've got a current going this way. We've also got this side where it goes this way, that maybe it goes, I was thinking, over here and possibly through here, but also like more so bending, like actually bending. Like this is where I've decided to hit record, because we got this region known as the Mammoth Steppes over here that kind of goes that way, and then it, to me, it pushes out this boundary as well as interacts over here. But then we've got this one. It's almost, so this is my interpretation, is there's a current swirling around North America this way, that some of it is going out this way and down this way, but some of it's going out this way and around the Azores Plateau to bend this way. And then it's, this is what I'm thinking. Also, a current comes off here, goes up this way, and like pushes it up. So it holds a boundary here. This current from North America goes across this way and then goes over this way, but it doesn't go like further south. But then it, what it does do is go further north. It goes up this way, so it like goes out and goes up as well, where it's basically fanning out. So if we look at this region, it's kind of like fanning out like a huge moraine, not to call it that, but or some fan in relationship to water flows. But so maybe one of the flows is seen as the Mammoth Steppes because it was less turbulent. But then the polar, let's go back to that. The polar desert is also seen as the polar desert up here because it's less turbulent. But then once they interact, it really leads to over here where it's much more turbulent. I guess it's still called polar desert, so maybe it's not about turbulence per se. But this is my thoughts, is this is an actual current flow that occurred this way, another current flow this way, but this is not accounting for more current flows. That basically, it went this way across through the main channel, like to here, and from here it went across like to this way generally, and across to here generally, just across here, and maybe down a little bit there, maybe up a little. Probably down though at this point, with cross currents coming down this way. It probably just went down join some other current bent. But then it also went across this way, went up this way, and then entered North America, or like went just straight into this region, and then joined the polar desert flow. But then there were the rest of them that went across that Mammoth Steppes region over here to about here. And then there was like more angles. So that was above Spain, but then there's one that kind of goes this way, I guess, and looks like it ran into resistance around the Kursk magnetic anomaly. So it just didn't influence the terrain. Maybe actually it might be related to Lake Baikal as well. Boom, like mountain, intermediary, deep lake, like spaced out. Let's say 26, 3,000 more. And then what was that? What is this? 3,056. So 22. Not the worst spacing. Anyway, I'm thinking generally a current went that way, but it looks like it legitimately ran into resistance. And went around, but maybe just built a mound here, so it has to go around. And then it went in these two paths, I guess with that one where it goes this way, but also this way, which kind of like runs into this point, this corner, as well as this one, which really runs into the same corner. I was thinking like here, this way, possibly that way. Like a wobbly wave that goes basically from over here, goes across and goes maybe like this, or somehow gets to this point where it goes down this way at this width about, and then up this way, and then down this way, and across, bends in the, runs into this current. So there's like a current cutting through this way that goes across to here, and to Africa, and fans out through here. Like it cuts across this way into this region, where it then kind of goes this way, I guess, largely. So probably there was a slower current at the equator that just wasn't etching as much, that it was approaching as it got to around here. I believe this was the old equator, even around here. In my Dwarka video, I was mentioning, based on the ammonite structure, that the old equator would be like here. I think it was like 11 north. At least in Africa. I don't know how, like, not like therefore here, because the earth was expanding and it was different, but yeah, so that's really caught my attention, is that concept that this was, something was flowing through and wobbling and went through this way and around this way to cut across, like possibly because of this, like the Kursk magnetic anomaly is here, it's creating resistance, which is leading to this mound, which is then redirecting this current to go more so along the Mammoth Steppes path and this path over here. So it kind of divides along the top and bottom. And then past this, though, like it still goes across. Because it's definitely going across and interacting over here. It's just, in so doing, it's creating an interaction with another wave of another current that travels like a wave as it interacts. Maybe here, up here, down here, where the opposite side. Maybe down here. Goes like this, swirls like this here because it's got a current going across and a current going across. So we got this like spiral. It almost looks like a clouds of like a hurricane forming. But a current going across and then another current going across. Nice. That goes down this way and it interacts here, possibly also bends off this way and causes this current to bend off and feed into this region where there's still a general current going across that it runs into and along. Possibly as like a jet stream out of this. Like this was creating an eddy that possibly like out of here generally propagated current over into here that then went out. Looks like also over here. And this current would be going this way. This current's going this way. Bouncing off a resistance over here from just the bulk material that it kind of bends, I guess. Also, I was thinking about that. Like, that reminds me before I forget that I was thinking maybe opposite in this view, how it really looks like a mirror type thing. Like here, over here, up along this axis, where there's some kind of relationship between the mantle puncture hole and this location. I was thinking maybe what this location was especially doing was building material, like a lot of water accumulated here. But the surroundings where the currents were flowing, this was more like a zone being compressed by the currents, where it more so just like built up a mountain of water, where like the water wasn't even the same level throughout the globe. Like literally a huge wall of water that the currents are just flowing more water into to bulge it, and then as a result this bulge just weighs a lot and pushes down. So basically, like a counterweight of water that compiled here, maybe. Which then, when the Earth expanded, it drained out, but it did so by like really pressing downward, which then caused like a channel to come out this way and out this way and across this way and across into here and down through here and just drain this huge system that was here. I just wanted to mention that before I forgot. Okay, back to what we were talking about. So there's possibly some kind of huge bulge there that's maybe relevant to what we're saying about these waves. Like there's definitely a current that went this way and wrapped around and over here, interacting with the current that was going this way. Maybe even being what really caused the Mediterranean to start to fracture. Cuts across this way, goes this way. Spirals here, goes over here. Gets through the resistance of this current by spiraling enough to get over there. Putting energy up into here. I guess also up in this way. Almost like it goes down and then into the resistance of the bulk material and goes back up this way. And flows along that boundary. While this current pushes out into this resistance here at its depth, and above it is flowing atop, but at its depth, pushing into it, and over here it's like hinged in place by the Horn of Africa, just holding the Arabian Peninsula from getting shoved by the water out in like to be an island out here. Kind of thing. I guess this turbulence helps to lift it up as well. Possibly. I'm not sure why. I guess maybe I just ran into resistance from current flowing the opposite way. Here especially, maybe from the mantle puncture hole itself. It pretty well points at it. Maybe this system that had an eddy here, I believe was eddying this way, and was maybe encouraging current like that way at its like peak, like out of its top influence, which is like right here, so across that way. Possibly. Okay, before I get too caught up on that, that's really got a current going this way. Maybe I should open magnetic anomaly maps. Magnetic anomaly map. Yeah, like current from over here maybe generally went up through here. Like, as this structure became more stable. I don't know. Let's see. I feel like those are more undercurrents than related to these currents we're looking at. Sometimes related, sometimes not. Okay, this here, I mean, I really feel like I see it going there. Like right there. And then it down along the boundary of the Tarim Basin. And then up. And maybe coming across from here. Cross around. Up this way, up to here. Down. Or up to here, down this way. It's also protected like this direction from current. Looks like that line is very much along that boundary. So wherever the Mammoth steps were happening, maybe they extended. Or, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Down. Cross. It's gotta be the current coming across this way at like the base of this along the boundary where it starts to flow back the other way. That current flows down this way along a boundary, probably where it's flowing the other way even already, because really this is like over here. Relatively at the time, maybe a space somewhat, but beginning to space for sure. But it went across. Imagine it just kept going across like there, or even to there. Like it just kept going across. That is very peak. That's pretty much the peak of that. Pretty close to the boundaries there. If we go to like the center, that pretty much goes right into where the Himalayas bend on both ends, which is pretty interesting. Kind of like it's a balance rod type thing that's flexible, like a beam going across that's flexible, that another beam pushes and bends it down here, but also has a like maximum influence larger, maybe from down here. Like something of that nature from that side, from that like portion. Because over here it's going, like, pushing it down, so it can't really go through, like, this stretch. Then it goes perhaps under. I wouldn't be surprised if this is, like, the deepest section of the Mediterranean right here, where it carves underneath, because it's going across, carves underneath this. And then it flows back up where the pressure has passed, like after here. Let's see. Mediterranean sea depth map. I know I'm kind of seeing that it's already feasible by the image, so I feel safe, I guess. Let's just see. Deepest region of Mediterranean Sea. Looks like it's like right there. So really it's at this outer boundary and where this meet, the very beginning of where this current meets this current, is the deepest location in the Mediterranean. Almost like it's like the initial point of contact, and then after that they have time to adjust so that the turbulence across, like, they slow down, the currents interact with each other, run into resistance of each other, and slow down by adding turbulence of up-down motions. But then form an eddy that stabilizes or something. I wonder if there's some relationship of all this to when the Trans-Saharan Seaway was on and off. Like maybe this was the Trans-Saharan Seaway. I'm pretty sure it was over here, but this is kind of what I'm thinking. Like, we're gonna find complex bends. Bends of this nature that actually were present on the surface of the Earth. So like a current going, maybe even a better one. Let's go to this. Let's go to this. You can probably find some better currents that are like wobbly currents like this. Doing like this. Up, down, down, like all over, and then cross around back this way, like all sorts of things. If we really can decipher. So this to me, and then it goes like this. I think up there, over there, Tarim Basin. Possibly from here. And then there's another current from over here going to Tarim Basin. Like, at that point, I guess. Across there. Maybe even down through here. Because if it goes this way, up, and then down, and then across, where if this one goes to the bottom and makes it to here, so somehow it gets to here, like let's say here it kind of joins in there, also up here somewhat, but back here too. This leads back to there, like it mimics that structure. That's a good sign. That even maybe mimics it there. Which kind of looks like it's possible that a current went this way that was pretty much traveling relatively straight. Maybe with some bumpiness from currents hitting the mountains and kind of deflecting pressure back, but ultimately traveling over in a generally straight line until they run into this current that's goes down, up, and then down off of it, while this current comes over down here, but then this current that goes up here pushes it up to this side. Maybe. And then it goes down and around and drains in there. And out this way, and out that way, but in part draining there. Maybe. So maybe this was just a lot of layers of currents. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't just kind of sitting there pressuring down. Although all current coming this way, pushing it up, current coming this way, and then going generally up, and then just this side, maybe holding it with the pressure over here, coming from here maybe, or even around the pole itself. As it was forming, I'm not sure if it was doing the same. It might have had like a petals off of it that were kind of producing like basically a petal, and then the current flows into it and then out of it, out of the tip of the petal, and flows like a galaxy arm out at an angle in the overall currents, because it's not just like running into no resistance. There's a cross current that pulls it this way, or generally encourages it that way. Something like that. I don't know. Just pressures encouraging it that way. I guess therefore current going that way. I'm just trying to think. Just wondering if there's some mirror effect here, positive, negative. It's kind of a center where it almost mirrored like along this axis here, just because of that. I don't know. Okay, this is another one. I just was watching some Himalayan mountain building lectures. Okay. So, notice the rotation of India. This is going to be relevant. Rotates. Counterclockwise rotation. So let's say there's a current here that's kind of like reaching into this. The current going this way at this boundary. And then this current going this way interact, create this spiral thing. Like it's possible it kind of, the circumstances compress this region, and effectively this eddy pulled the, like, was a mechanism to turn India inward to compact it, like the region. I was just thinking that, I don't know, just a thought. Nothing too exciting here, just images of 70 million years ago, just before the KT boundary. We see Madagascar and India still connected. I'm not sure if that's... I think they can disconnected at 85 million. And Seychelles... Reunion at least from India at 65 million at the KT boundary. I'm not sure. Under thrusting, the general things said to be happening, but like if there's a vortex of current atop that region that reaches into the Himalayas and kind of grabs the mountains, but they're held in place by just the pressure of it all. Maybe it could create some kind of effect similar to that. A lot of the mountain building is after the KT boundary. Okay, this was another lecture I watched. There's a map here, which is cool. There's some sections that Himalayan are made of granitic volcanic rocks from 110 to 40 million years old, intruded by the southern Tibetan block. Something he said in here. And then this is where Eastern and Eastern syntaxy is the Namcha Barwa, and then Nanga Parbat is the western, I guess, where the mountains actually bend. So from here they bend and go down this way, generally speaking. I guess that's what they're depicting, like the arm down this way, and then the bend. This is the arc of the Himalayas, and then the bend down where it's going down that way, I guess. Namcha Marwa. It's got a little. They each had like. There's not like a circular feature in the same way as there is right here. Like along the end of this arm is like an. It's almost like one of those pin things that. Connectors. A connector. And then. Here, yeah, here. Like this was it. I mean, maybe it could. Had it been here, I'd be saying like this is a circle, maybe. But it looks like maybe those are even energetically connected. Because this one's relatively node connector-like, like a connector terminal connecting. Like there's totally a connection here. From something over here to the Himalayas arc, possibly over to the structure. Good chance this kind of goes questionably somewhere. So here's the terminal, I believe it's right there. The Himalayan one, or maybe, no, there it is, Yeah, perfect, right there, right in line with that. This structure that's in the terrain, that has an arm up that way, then reaches over, and then seemingly influences through to there. Where past that is that location. Cross there. Definitely related to that structure there. We can see it there. Generally like that, and then across to here with another thing going up to here. Maybe there's also current coming like this way. That goes essentially, I don't know where that would be exactly, but something going across to like push in down this way, to push down, something pushing down at this boundary and really squeezing from both sides here. bending around here and then pushing down there to squeeze at that location. And then it passes and interacts again over here. Because this thing goes down and has like a maximum influence generally around here before it bends back. So maybe this had a region that didn't compress. I don't know. Also related to the undercurrents. Oh my god, it's so I'm just like, are these the same? After I do enough of this, well, I realize these are the same currents. Oh my god. I don't think so. I think they're legitimately different currents. Like, can we see that current? A current that would create this would have to go down and then back up. Down, up, something, I don't know, down. Yeah, I think an undercurrent is flowing here, across this width, bending around here, and across here, building this region, but then an overcurrent is involved here. Maybe, oh, it goes down, bends, and goes, it doesn't just bend, it also goes straight and produces this section, pushes in this boundary, and uses that as a pressure point. To push in like a finger even, and bend off and go this way. Looks like some of it tried to go up as well, like beyond this boundary, and that region had a counter current create this location. But then past that, there's really this, but that's in generally there as well. And then just, I guess this flowing into this. That goes up here and pushes this boundary, but then this pushes this boundary, and then it goes around this way, where this goes around this way. Through the Mediterranean, really, I guess. Possibly partly getting deflected out this way enough to just not greatly influence this region as much. Definitely swirled here, and then it definitely swirled here, and then this little block, like anything that went this way actually went back this way and deflected off of this current here. Like went below it and down. Around this, up there. So a spiral forming here. That's basically here. And then anything past that goes out that way. Not sure why. I guess it formed another eddy here that kind of shaped this island. Cyprus. Like, is this... I got it on one of the videos recently. I got it. It's Cyprus. Wait, isn't it Cyprus? Oh my god. It's just... Cyprus. Okay, I was right. It is Cyprus. So I was right that I was wrong. So I was both right and wrong. You know, it's common trait. Very common trait, honestly. Very common trait. Okay, so we got an eddy that's going this way. And I guess putting a current generally that, or maybe an eddy going this way that then encourages this to go this way, where it etches there, bends around there. Possibly shoots off a bit this way to push this boundary out. Interact there. Goes that way though, which then causes this current coming across this way to interact here, which is where all these volcanoes in a row are. Swirling. It looks like it maybe had a boundary out to there then. Really, like a secondary boundary. Primary into inner ring to about here. Secondary ring to about there. That to there. Ammonite structure. Inner outer shells. Current going this way into this. So this must have been going like this actually, right? If this is going like this, then it kind of makes sense this would be going like this. Which then, as this one goes this way and bends off, holds this boundary here, so it still has that bend. It goes like this way, or this way. Creating maybe a positive, negative to the structure, I don't know. Relatively. So that means current went across this way, swirled here, but it also went across here and swirled here, just not with as much potency to etch the, I guess it held a boundary while this current went below it here, etching that below it region. And then maybe there was a spiral here that was going this way, creating like a boundary, and then stuff going out along this boundary. I feel like there's so many relationships here. Oh my god, interacting currents. Oh, so many nuances to really. Oh my god. I just think like I I could see like doing my Earth's undercurrents video, but for the Earth's surface with currents that were flowing and interacting in like continuous ways where like an overall current flow is determined, that it would be very persuasive. I think it would be very persuasive. Especially if it's true. I mean, if it's true, it's gotta be true. Like, to be very persuasive, it's gotta be true. There's definitely a current coming that way. Okay, I feel good about that. Current going this way, current coming that way. Current going this way, interacting with that current. Down, up, down. Really feel like it went through the Tarim Basin. Possibly here. Like an elongated up, like the current coming that way made it more elongated into multiple steps, maybe. Here and here. But that one maybe goes there. Maybe one of them goes this way, goes up, and then comes down to hold this boundary right here. And flow in and through, like enter through to get into what's going on, but to hold this boundary especially. Wait a minute, that would be flowing the opposite way. Hold that boundary. So something up this way, through here, hold this boundary. Could it be this stream? Maybe this one that goes out this way. Cuts across there and bends. I don't know why. I don't really see it. It would have to really be running into resistance here. So maybe it went down first. Like did some weird thing over here where it went down, up. No, to get up there. Unless it's just two currents, maybe this current and this current caused this current to also go this way. So there's like a secondary current going the opposite direction, going both ways there. And this one ends up going more precisely up that way. Bending, it would have to bend here. From some current, which is pretty much where that is. Like there's current from over here, generally, possibly from North America, flowing in at an angle from here pretty much to here. So as soon as current coming this way ran into the overwhelmingness of it because of it basically being the result of a current going this way, swirling around here. Alright, wait. Whatever it's a result of, maybe coming out of this way. Essentially. Or from here. Going back that way, so maybe it's pretty strong current. I was thinking it was a result of several like different things, so it'd probably be not as strong of a current, but okay, I don't know. I don't know if I made that much progress. I mean, this alone is huge. The wobbly current is huge. Finding a wobbly current and feeling confident about it is pretty, like, science would question someone just like in a vacuum being like, a current flowed this way and then this way. This is what it did. It went here, around here, and it came from over here. It went this way, this way. Science would probably just label, let's say psi is maybe a kind way to put how science might respond to that. But I think it's pretty legit. Maybe not every aspect of the bends, maybe hopefully the direction of the currents. I guess it's possible a current comes up this way, runs into a current going this way, gets bent, and then goes this way. Like, that's possible. But would it do this? I guess if it went up that way. I think it came this way, though. This is the interaction of two opposing currents. This definitely went off over here. Like, definitely drained this way. Which means this current went that way. Which means this current went that way. Which means this current came from over here. Which means this current came from over here. Which means this current came from over here. Maybe at that point now it's a little more questionable. Then there's another one here that bends here and goes down here. Goes across, maybe. Like right there, we can really see it. It's probably coming out of here. All this current. Anything that from this side that gets pushed into here is kind of accumulating here. So it's probably at least this side, like draining to this side, but also draining to this side. This side is draining into pressure. This side it's draining with the pressure, like this pressure over here of this current flowing as it drains out of this chamber. This way it's into that pressure, but over here it's with the pressure, so it's more able to drain out this way probably, which even gives it this elongatedness probably in the features themselves, as well as the difference here versus over here. Doesn't really look like a drain point as much as a compaction point because it's trying to drain out, but it's in the pressure. So it's probably draining and compacting and sealing this so that the pressure is blocked off more so, just stabilizing. So this thing's kind of a seal and a drain. But maybe this current goes in across up this way to this side, crosses over, bends from the pressure from over here, bends it back, and it bends this way. But then it's also flowing across this way, so it runs into itself here and bends around this final, anything that like bends, almost like taking an exit or not, like anything that doesn't take the exit to go this way goes towards India, goes towards Tarim Basin. It goes in, and interacts, but it does so in like a wobbly way, where it went up and around and around and then down probably. And that was involving this one too. I guess this current actually merges somewhat with it. Like that's kind of like a mutual zone maybe. This current's trying to get up north of the Himalayas, possibly before the Earth expanded, at least. Like it was more flowing this way than this way before the globe changed enough that like a straight path changed as the Earth expanded. What was straight was no longer the same route on the surface of the Earth, so it was like straight to go that way, but then the Earth expanded and it became more like over there and over here, even to a point where it's like actually, I guess, like generally out there was the straight path through here. Until the waters receded enough that the currents were all actually happening in ocean beds and contained in the ocean space itself. And the pressures relented, so they weren't so intense, even though they're still really intense. I don't know how much they've changed the flow rates. It might be that all it took was like the ocean on the surface of the Earth to do all this. I don't think so. Like the ocean is not doing this to the ocean floor. So it probably really took a combination of all of the circumstances really driving the water, and once the Earth expanded, the water velocity, like average and energy of the water, is just greatly decreased to the point where it's just kind of flowing in the ocean bed in like a perpetual current flow, but not etching in a way where it's doing anything of this nature. At least not on a scale of this nature. Maybe subtly. Or in just other perceived ways that are the same general processes. Okay. Do I got anything else to say? Maybe let's pull up. Cow. Nope, wrong one. Cow. European cow. And the snake vortex. So we got snakes here. I guess this one, I drew it as having a relationship with this Kursk magnetic anomaly. Doesn't really fit. I was wondering if any of these like brought some like clarity to anything. I think this is maybe relevant, but also lacking a lot of what I just realized in this video in terms of the actual current flow shaping this. Okay, I'm gonna end this video. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.